Okay, so this is my poster analysis of Insidious. Um, we'll start off with the colours and the images. So as you can see, we've got quite a blue hue over it. That has connotations of sadness and sort of fear, which can show the audience that are looking at it to see whether they want to go and see the film, that there could be some quite sad events. It also gives you an impression of something paranormal and supernatural, which the film is quite supernatural. Um, in fact, it brings a new sort of subgenre into the haunted house genre, which was quite revolutionary for its time. We also have the red here of his pajamas. That has connotations of blood and danger, which shows that blood could be spilled in the film. It shows that he could be in danger, this child, or it shows that the child could be a danger in himself. The white could have connotations of purity. He's a child, so he should be pure, he should be innocent, and white gives all the connotations of that. But as we can see in the writing, it's actually quite tainted with black and brown and grey, which shows how this boy's innocence has been sort of cracked and corroded through the evil that's inside him. We also have the green in the background, which is again quite tainted, and it's that sort of picturesque shot of the traditional family house and family life, and you can see that the blue hue and the greys and the browns and the shadows have actually tainted that. So there's a disruption in this family's perfect life. Then we'll move on to the writing. Oh no, sorry, the images. So we've got the house in the background and the garden, which is, as I said, the perfect family American household, and that has been tainted by the hue over the front of the poster. Then we have the child, and again, as I said, he's a picture of innocence and purity, and he's been tainted in that, so he's quite dark and sort of shadowed. The children being in horror sort of thing has been around for quite a while. I'd say the first that I heard of it was in Poltergeist, where the child is in the TV, Carol Ann, and I think since then that sort of subgenre of horror has really boosted, because our expectations of children are that they're innocent, they don't know much, they have no concept of evil at all, and they're quite peaceful and like cherubs. But this genre has completely turned that ideology on its head, and that is what we see in the poster here. We also have Insidious is in his eyes, which you can only see if you look closely. I don't think it looks very good, but it sort of gives a hint that it's the boy that's haunted rather than the house, which links to the tagline underneath the title, which says it's not the house that's haunted, which again, it's showing you that the boy's haunted, not the house, which is the main sort of selling point of the film, because we hadn't had anything like that before. It was very new. Then we move on to writing. So we've got from the makers of Paranormal Activity and Saw. The Paranormal Activity and the Saw are in a larger font. It's because if you look at this poster, the first thing you see is the title. And then, to me, the second thing you see is the names of the films, so the Paranormal Activity and the Saw. Now, I like both of those films. I like Paranormal Activity and I like Saw. So putting those together, I would absolutely love this film, which I do. I think it's a great film. And that is what other people would think as well. So if they saw from the makers of Paranormal Activity and Saw, they think, oh, I liked those films, I'll go and see this one. It also gives a hint to the genre. If you know about Saw and Paranormal Activity and know that they're horrors, you'll know that this film's going to be a horror, and that might help you decide whether you want to go and see it or not. So again, that gives sort of a hint towards it. I think I'll use it from the makers of on my poster, just because it gives all these connotations and I quite like it as well. Then we have the title, which is Insidious. The SI is red. Now there are multiple reasons for this. The actual makers of the films haven't actually given a proper meaning, but one of them is that the SI backwards would be is especially in this font, the S is the same upside down as well. So if you turn the poster upside down, the red bit is, and the whole slogan for the film is Insidious is. So it again alludes to the child. There's also in, and then SI is blanked out, and Deus, which is God in Latin, I believe. So in God, it's like God has been tainted, this child is not in God's eyes anymore, and the devil has hold of him. So that's, again, another connotation of the title and the colours of the title. Then we have the stars. We've got Patrick Wilson, Rose Byrne, and Barbara Hershey, who I've never heard of. But these sort of stars, again, they make you say whether you want to go and see the film. If you've seen another film with Patrick Wilson in it, you might want to go and see it. If you've seen another film with Rose Byrne in it and you like her, you might go and see it. Again, that has another effect of maybe you don't want to see it because you don't like those actors. But anyway. Then we have the traditional cast and crew at the bottom in a very small font, very stringy, very thin, and only real like movie nerds will look at that, and it just sort of gives you a bit more information if you want to know. Then we have July 21st, which is the date it's released. It sort of stands out against the small writing of the cast and crew, and it gives you information on if you want to go and see the film, that's when you can. Then we have the logos and the website at the bottom, so it just sort of tells you a bit more information again. Now, all of the font is sans serif, which is a lot easier to read. It looks a bit more refined, and as I said before, it helps with the slogan where the S can be seen either upside down or the right way around, and it still looks the same. So that is my analysis